yours, nigga, cause I'ma get mine. Today gon' be a good day. Jack gon' keep it playing from the Genesis. As I'm blowing dope, being broke my only nemesis. Remember when it wasn't all good, I used to reminisce. Felt like I was going through hell with no deliverance. Niggas throwing salt in the game, condoning ignorance. But when it's really in you, not on you, we know the difference. Nigga ain't no willing and dealing, we really killing shit. My brother passed a shooter like Luca, he gave me Genesis. Nigga, I was Dennis before you knew what a menace is. Now I just spread love to these bitches, ho, I'm a feminist. Way they running back to the dick, they think they Emmitt Smith. No real player gon' break it, that shit be imminent. Yeah. Nigga, we was trapping out the tenement. Niggas ain't hard, they just loud, them niggas impotent. Ain't in it for the glory, my life story is intricate. Don't crash out for the money and watch the niggas you get it with. I say it all, cause I'm past the point that I'ma play with y'all. And as the president, I'ma have to revoke your player call. Don't think the nigga ever was real, and he gon' stay a fraud. Don't think a nigga bluffing is not nothing to break them all. Saquon, ho, it's not nothing to shake them all. With no street clothes in my bed, ho, better take them all. Just get that cheese, breaking that bread, and I can stay involved. You wanna look sweet in my side seat, got to pay the cost.
I got dope and cheese, I'm smoking G's. While I was scaling dope and weed, y'all been yelling broken knees. You gon' do it, baby, do it, gotta hold and squeeze. For real, it's cold out here, one of you hoes gon' freeze. Rob the reverend, call the blessing, hold your nose, don't sneeze. Poop, nigga. Oops, nigga. Pull up in that big shit like I'm too big for that coupe, nigga. Too legit to quit, no, I'm just too legit for you, nigga. Twin Towers feel the power when we speaking, nigga. Cope like I was in the ghost with Tommy Egan, nigga. If your bitch looks suspicious, she probably creeping, nigga. If you heard the shit before, it's probably beating. And don't ask me about no money, I'ma tell you, let me hold something. 60K and debt be walking around like I don't owe nothing. So and so got shot up, I just act like I don't know nothing. I call love, but we make a hit and miss a home run. Clean up in the kitchen, we can't have no dirty dishes. Cause it's roaches outside and we cooking if they don't sniff it. Took a shot in the dark, I just went for this shit. Why aim for the stars, go forward and get nothing. Somewhere there's a young nigga on the same thing. Suggested advice, I tell him do better. Baby mom pregnant, I was turning 18. Ain't even focused my mind to getting cheddar. So I quit this rap shit, quit chasing my dreams. Fuck it, get money off of hoes and the fiends. Fuck it, get money, then turn around, blow it. If I was my plug, man, I wouldn't even throw it. Maybe I would get money, you know it. Really had the city for some summers with the lows, yeah. Going down the wrong way, niggas getting smoked, yeah. I ain't even tell you about the times I was broke, yeah.
Okay, now hold on. Let me see some shit. My check 1 2. My check 1 2. Yeah, y'all forgive me. Nah, we've been having some bad storms out here, so on and so forth. So I don't know. Down here in the man cave, it's just been acting real crazy, and it's crazy because it's like I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just lay something down real quick, and now life wants to act funny. But it's all good. We're going to keep on moving through it because that's what we do. We just keep on moving. So now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the topic that we're going to go ahead and pull up for this evening, right? So let me just make sure I got my settings right. So we should be good to go by now. So I ain't even going to hold us. So again, what we talking about is boom, boom. Okay, let me do this. Bow. All right, we in there, people. We in there. I apologize for the delay. Welcome or welcome back to Smitty's Corner, aka Lighthouse _301. That's right, Lighthouse _301. The time right now is 12:51 a.m. East Coast Standard Time, and I thank everybody so much for tuning in. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead. We are going to talk about I'm going to reiterate, all right? The dash in the middle. We focus a lot on when it is that we came into the world. Your birthday's so important, and you know what's just as important, or at least it should be, is when a person exits. And you know what I find very fascinating about science that connects with spirituality? The very first thing a baby does, it's without any shadow of a doubt, 100% of the time, baby will enter the world, and the first thing we do is inhale. We inhale. We take in life. Not one soul has ever reached the collarbones without an exhale. When you leave here, the very last thing you do is exhale. Nobody leaves here on an inhale, and nobody comes here on an exhale. I just thought real quick, right? All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and let's get to this. Now, we are going to look at, I got like 2-3, little videos for us. We're just going to go ahead, ride it through, kick it and cool it for those people who might be up right now. And we're going to go ahead and see what we got. But with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out.
Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's begin. On August 13th, 2025, Kevin Watson, a 42-year-old Chicago resident, was fatally shot in a parking lot in the South Austin neighborhood on the west side. The incident occurred in the 5,000 block of West Madison Street and was streamed live on Facebook, drawing immediate public attention. The attack left his family, friends, and community in shock, while the Chicago Police Department began an active homicide investigation. As of August 15th, 2025, the case remains open with no arrests.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. This is for educational as well as entertainment purposes. Let's get it.
The investigation continues as authorities attempt to piece together the details of what happened and identify the individual responsible. Kevin Watson, known in the community as Tug, was streaming live from the parking lot when he was approached by an unknown assailant.
All right. Hold on one sec. One sec. Hold on. Let me get through this real quick. All right. So look, this is the first thing I want to make sure that we recognize, that I'm going to make sure to point out, right? All right. One thing we got to learn, people, is this. Unfortunately, as much as we do recognize that you only live once, you know what I find funny about when we say that? You only live once. So why be so reckless with it? I'm going to say that again. We only live one time. Like, we only here one time. I'm not saying go through life all scary. But seriously, like, at what point do we have more situational awareness? At what point do we say, you know what, you're right. You absolutely right. I am only here just once. So I think I want to extend this for as long as I possibly can. If not, I want to make sure that I at least decrease the chances of certain elements in life coming my way, right? So let's go ahead. Let's get back to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. Let's rock out. Oh, shoot.
Live stream from a parking lot, grief, using Lessler's statement. His status as Kevin's elder brother was central, the protective older sibling, in public grief, speaking with brevity. And
now what we're going to do is we're going to listen to really what the brother has to say, because, quite a few of us who keep up and everything, like, we pretty much hip to what happened. The brother in the early morning with the sun shining on him, whole day ahead of him, whole life still ahead of him. It was cut short in the early morning for basically no reason at all. But let's keep rocking out.
Cultural weight. Beyond the social post, investigators and community members monitor Lessler's online presence, though no videos or additional public statements from him have surfaced. His post remains of verified content from Kevin's immediate family available to the public. Stay with us as we unravel the shocking story and uncover the heartbreaking details of what led to this senseless loss. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, a 42-year-old Chicago resident, was fatally shot in a parking lot in the South Austin neighborhood on the west side. The incident occurred in the 5,000 block of West Madison Street and was streamed live on Facebook, drawing immediate public attention. The attack left his family, friends, and community in shock, while the Chicago Police Department began an active homicide investigation. As of August 15, 2025, the case remains open with no arrests. The investigation continues as authorities attempt to piece together the details of what happened and identify the individual responsible. Kevin Watson, known in the community as Tug, was streaming live from the parking lot when he was approached by an unknown assailant. Witnesses reported that the shooter arrived in a white vehicle. Some bystanders described the possibility that the suspect was wearing a ski mask. What began as an ordinary live stream quickly escalated into a deadly attack, broadcast in real time to Kevin's social media audience. The shooting resulted in Kevin being struck in the chest.
You know, I got a question, right? All right, so like, when it really comes to being here just once, how do you see it? You know, because you know something else. You know, another saying that I've seen online and just heard in life many times before, and then I get to thinking to myself, is that the trickery of the enemy of man, aka Lucifer, Satan, whatever name you want to use for him, right? Or it. Is that like smooth trickery, right? When it comes to live for today. If I live for today, am I thinking about tomorrow? What is tomorrow and what does it consist of? Well, basically, everything that you have ahead of you, every single thing that you got ahead of you is what tomorrow consists of. So now I'm sitting back, right? I'm telling you, because like I'm one of them, I just get to analyzing life. Like I be like putting it under a microscope. And I like to not just look at like the actual body form of it, not just like, you know, what it make up of the tissue and hairs and stuff. No, I want to get down to the actual blood cells, right? I want to know what's inside the pores of what life consists of to the best of my ability. And so now I'm in this rabbit hole of, okay, where are we when it comes to how we think? All right, bet you only live once. Now remember, we talking about the title of this is The Dash in the Middle. Everything that happens in your life before you leave here. So is it really worth it? Do you choose to say to yourself, you know what? I mean, I could leave from here tomorrow due to something that has nothing to do with me. Like, I don't know, Lord forbid, stray bullet, right? Drunk driver, swinging through an intersection. Anything can happen to any of us at any moment, right? But when we do things like be this fly, right? And we know that we are amongst our own who really do not have, I just be wondering why take that chance? Why take that chance as we listen to the first segment out of 3 that we have for the evening? Let's get back to it. Let's see what we got. Because we're going to listen to what the brother has to say. And I really want to open up more of what I hear his brother say in regards to what took place and everything else. Let's rock out.
Emergency medical services responded and transported him to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The video of the incident spread rapidly online, gaining millions of views and amplifying the reach of the tragedy beyond the local community. In the aftermath, one of the most notable public responses came from Kevin's elder brother, Lesler Watson. Shortly after the news of his brother's death circulated, Lesler posted a brief but impactful statement on Facebook. "Y'all killed my little brother, okay, cool." The post was widely shared, quickly gaining traction across multiple platforms. Repeatedly also reflected the immediate impact of the crime on the Watson family.
I just seen my brother body. Gunshot wound to the chest, right? And my nigga look like he sleep. My brother.
Now, I want to say first, before I get to going on anything I have to say, condolences to the family. All right. And live in paradise to this black man whose life was cut short, unfortunately. All right. So now let's get to it. Between him and his brother, both of them, from what I see, bruh, we old enough to know it ain't what it used to be. Times ain't what it was before. You know, the only thing that we have as a real main difference when it comes to how things play out when it comes to the streets nowadays is one factor: social media, the camera. All right. We know that's what it was. Listen, I come from the days where I remember when parents didn't want to buy, you know what I'm saying, stuff like, buy stuff like, I don't know, like what, Butter Tims, you get shot for those. Eddie Bauer coats, you get shot for those. Starter jackets and hats, you get shot for those. You're getting shot. Everybody getting shot, right? Like we real deal in real time had that actually be the headspace of a lot of folks out here in the world. That's what it was. If you was wearing Butter Tims,
and I don't give a fuck, and that's what it is, everybody getting shot.
Okay. If you had on a starter jacket,
and I don't give a fuck, and that's what it is, everybody getting shot.
Okay. If you had on an EB, if you had on anything. So we remember the Jordans.
And I don't give a fuck, and that's what it is, everybody getting shot.
So we already know what, you know what I'm saying? We already know what that Lake here for. It's been on that type time. So when we know that things are so much more exacerbated, we know that, like, them young bloods, they really don't care for being locked up and everything until they back there and they realize what it is. So you got to recognize something. Why they out here, they don't really recognize the repercussions of what it is they about to do, because this older gentleman had his life taken basically by the youth. He had his life taken by folks that probably wasn't even born when he graduated high school, 9 times out of 10. You see, it goes a lot deeper than what we know. But let's go ahead and get back to this. Let me go ahead and pull this video up. There we go. I got us, people. I'm learning.
Look like he sleep. He like he at peace. I've also seen videos of shit. So whoever the nigga was that got out on my brother, they was already sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes. Since when do a pull up there and sit for 10 minutes with tinted windows and don't nobody wash their car?
Well, we had the one brother, forgive me, I forget his name. If you listen and you want to type it in, what was his name? Lil something. Ronnie. There we go. Ronnie got hit up at a car wash. Unfortunately, rest in peace to that black man. There we go. The people that was there to hit him up was not there to wash a car. They was there to do a hit. They didn't just get him, they got him and his daughter. Unfortunately, and rest in peace to the young princess. Live in paradise, right? All right, cool. Bruh, again, we old enough to know, like, when you ask questions like this, OG, when you asking questions like this, I'm sitting here and I'm saying to myself, like, so we the ones who's supposed to be the OGs of the community, and we moving like the young bloods do, like we asking questions and we confused just like them. That's the part I'm not getting. You smell me now? That's the part I'm not getting right there. How you don't know that? We've been around too long. You supposed to be hip. You supposed to be the one schooling and saying, you know what, man? My brother made a young nigga move. Man, man, you know, I don't know what he was thinking sitting in that parking lot in his car with his diamonds on, and you around a bunch of broke. Listen, bruh, it's the literal term of don't walk through the safari or the jungle with a steak necklace. Like literally, don't do that. Don't go string a whole bunch of raw meat around your neck and then douse yourself in honey and walk through the Amazon and wondering why you're being attacked from everything from bugs to giant anacondas and bears and tigers and everything else. Like, don't be surprised. You should know what time it is. You should know what that's going to bring. You know, even down to like, why do you think what's the common color theme for a burglar? What is it? Watch. The common theme, the common color scheme for a burglar is black. Why? Why isn't the common color scheme for a burglar neon yellow, hot pink? Because you can be seen. See, the thing is that we recognize, depending on the element, depends on how you have to move. You cannot be, you can't be the fresh piece of meat in the woods, dressed in hot pink and doused in honey. You're making yourself extra visible, extra accessible. When you know that you have a certain amount of whatever going on, it's a certain amount of street etiquette you're supposed to keep. Street etiquette is what's going to allow you to wake up to another sunrise, go to your favorite spot, grab something to eat, make phone calls, have plans, and everything else. More than likely. Is life a guarantee? Absolutely not. We all know this. We all know this. But you do have the capability to increase your chances of not leaving here tomorrow. Watch this, people. If I decide to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to eat healthier and I'm not going to jump off a building tomorrow. You know what? I just might be around next month because I didn't do things to decrease the chances of me not being here, like jumping off a building. Does that mean it was my time? See, that's why I be having a hard time and I be really going deep into that rabbit hole of like real talk, like, you know, when we hear like, oh, you know, was their time? Was it really their time? Or did they exercise something that we all know called free will? And you know what? Free will can also allow you to injure, you know, to end your story faster than what it was supposed to. You can rip pages out your own book. You know that, right? You know you can rip pages out your own book. You know how you rip pages out your own book? Not allowing the story to be finished. How do you not allow the story to be finished? By doing reckless things to increase the chances of having pages ripped out of your book. And then guess who's going to tell the story? All of your enemies. Let's keep going.
Since when? Pull up with tinted windows and don't nobody wash the car. Since when? Anytime I'm
Since we was in high school, OG. Since we was in middle school, high school, and beyond. Since a book called The Art of War was written. Like, listen, ambushes have always happened. Don't act surprised, OG.
ever been somewhere and you know it's shit going on, wash that car. It was so many of you bitches out there on that camera. None of you niggas said, wash that car. You niggas knew I was.
No, because people don't even really talk nowadays, OG. You're online, you're on social media, you know how to boot up and go live. You should know enough about this to know that people are not social. You should know that most of us don't even say good morning or hello or how you doing. And if you do walk up to one of us nowadays, usually, unfortunately, not always, because I don't want us to be in fear factor, right? Ain't no fear factor over here, but we do have a large component that does consist of, hey, what's good? What you mean, what's good? What's up? No. I was just saying, what's up, bro? I'm sorry. No, I don't want no smoke. You can get your hand out your waist. Get your hand out your waist. Sir, please get your hand out your waist. Thank you. Yes, that does exist. Don't act like you not hip, OG. Now, I know you just, you don't want to put this on your brother. I get it. But I can't help but to look at this circumstance as, bruh, what was you thinking? Like, you don't know what time it is nowadays, and you in Chirac? Chirac. I didn't say Chicago, as in Iraq, as in we know what it hit for. What you thinking?
What's gonna happen? And y'all waited. Y'all waited. I watched the video. I don't need no more. You niggas waited. Didn't no more help. Nobody cared to help. You niggas watch that car sit there for 10 months. It's okay though. It's okay though. Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna be all right. My family.
No, I get it. Who, believe me, I get it. You know, when you lose somebody close to you, especially like a sibling you was close to and everything, like I get it. Because I know what it's like to lose somebody close to me. I recognize that pain. I know it when I see it, So I'm not oblivious to that. The main thing I want to focus on is situational awareness, but I also want to focus on the dash in the middle. A lot of us don't think about, what is your legacy? How were you known when you leave here, the whole nine? Now, this brother right here, apparently he was loved. And that's something I do want to highlight. Apparently, he's somebody that, he took care of his kids. He did his thing, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? He looked out for folks in his community, I guess, to the best of his ability. He talked this shit. He walked this walk. You know what I'm saying? He did what he did. But, the man wasn't a scumbag. The dash in the middle. We're going to go ahead and get to the next segment after this. Let's keep on rocking out. And I appreciate y'all for just hanging out and cooling and kicking it with your boy. The time right now is 1:14 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you so much for tuning in.
We're going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. My family going to be all right. Just know this, though.
At Harbor Freight, we rigorously test and
Oh my gosh.
All I know is, I see the social media shit. Yeah. Shit people saying and all that. We don't really give no fuck about no balloon release. None of that shit gonna bring my brother back. What I want people to understand is,
I want us to remember something too. All right. These are little things I like to point out. So before we say this won't bring this person back, we need to think about how many senseless, very much so preventable moments have taken place where we shouldn't even have to say that. Shouldn't even have to say it. Because prevention will always be better than the cure. Let's keep on rocking out.
I've been preaching for years. I've been preaching for years to not trust no motherfucker.
I'm going to get to comments in a minute. I just want to let this play out for a bit because we got a couple clips to get through. So let's go ahead and keep on rocking out. But I see y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Bro had a big heart. He had a big heart. He kept trusting niggas, helping niggas, looking out for niggas. And now he gone. They tried it, 4 or 5 times to get him out the way. And they finally got him.
Boom. Right there. They tried about 4 or 5 times. Why were you still in the same area? When we gonna get it? When are we gonna get that? You know what? It's probably not best. Listen, let me ask y'all a question. Do you all know any stories? And if you do, I promise you there will be some mental diagnosis that is along with it. Do you guys know any soldiers that was drafted that had to go to war, right? They're in a war territory. Let me get my headphones. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. They're in a war territory. And you ever known anybody that, like, once the war is over or whatever, they stay in the war zone, as far as like they just stay exactly where like all the gunshots were going on and everything? No. Generally, once we realize, okay, this is where the war is, this is where the bullets are flying, we usually like to get out of Dodge, is my point. I don't know where, again, that situational awareness has been depleted in how we move and how we function, but let's keep on going.
And it's sad because motherfucker don't think about his family. Because you got down for nothing. Y'all got down for nothing. It wasn't even worth it. Y'all got down for nothing.
Yes, because unfortunately, unfortunately, the guy, he lost his life, and they were saying take his chain, and they never got it. Apparently, the police have it. It's in custody. So it was a botched robbery, right? So they had a botched robbery. Sheesh. So now, not only is a life taken, right? Lives will be lost as far as your life is over. Because you now forever have a warrant. There is no statutory limit on M's. Let's keep on rocking out.
And was fucked up. It wasn't worth it. The best thing, I ain't gonna even say the best thing. I'm just gonna say, I wish we could have had one more conversation.
Bow. Message. Are you mad at somebody right now? Was there somebody that you really care about who you might have said something a little overboard to? This right here is the perfect product for you. What is it called? This product is called forgiveness. This product is called resolution. This product is called tomorrow's not promised. This product is called time is of the essence. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on with you, and I don't know who the person you got a quarrel with, but all I'm going to say is you don't got forever. You don't have it. No, you don't. You don't have forever to go ahead and make sure that you let them know you love them. Might not like them, but you still love them, right? Whoever that person might be. Let's get it.
I know what's going on. Black people hate each other over materialistic shit.
No. Well, yes, but no. Okay, boom. Let's do this. My personal conclusion that I've come to is that it's not the fact that we hate each other. We hate the fact that we don't understand or know ourselves And when you don't know yourselves, you start to be confused within yourself. And so then what happens when you look at those who resemble yourself, you have further confusion, and that confusion can lead to frustration. That frustration can lead to violence. Thus, we have black on black crime, ladies and gentlemen. We have, nigga, don't say nothing to me. We have, who you? Where you from? What set you claim? See, that's where we get all of this division. I believe that more than a hatred personally is really a lack of understanding to overstand exactly who it is that we are around when we are around and amongst our own. That's just me. Let's keep going.
We hate each other over materialistic shit. That was his chain. That was his shit. That was his chain. That was his. He paid for that. It took some time to pay for that shit. He worked for that shit. You got niggas on here talking about, oh, it was fake. It was, man, listen, man. Bro worked his ass off for that little ass chain. And he didn't die behind it. But we know it's more to the story than that, though. But it's okay.
Now, the main thing that I want to make sure that we take from that before we go ahead and switch over to our next segment, because y'all know me, we keep it moving on this one, right? I want us to make sure that we absolutely recognize how deeply important it is to make sure that that dash in the middle, everything that you do in your life before you leave here is extremely important. Now we're going to get to another segment. Right? You know, definitely got to give my shout out to creators, you know, who definitely do their due diligence in this space. So I'm going to review something. I'm going to pull this up. Right? Let me pull this up. Y'all give me 1 second. Now, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Where are my manners? Let me see something here. Wow. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to do this right here. I'm gonna pull this up. Let me get back here. So apparently, guess what? Apparently, there are a lot of bombshells being dropped in this whole Tory Lanez case. So, you know, it was something that came across my timeline, and I want to go ahead and check it out. All right. So let me see what I got right here on this. All right, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. Boom. And I'm gonna hit here. All right, y'all. So, you know, there were a lot of us who were very, very confused when it came to the outcome of the Tory Lanez case. I am one of them. I'm not going front, and it ain't have nothing to do with like the whole gender war thing or none of that, right? Now let me go ahead. Hold on. Let me slide some stuff over. There we go. Now I want to go ahead and I want to adjust. I'm gonna adjust this right here. All right, let me bow. All right, there we go. All right, let's get it. There was a lot of things that we had to go ahead and we had to take into consideration that we're like, hold on, man, something's not right with this case. Things aren't adding up. Things aren't matching up. Was Tory really guilty? When you know, you know. So let's go ahead and I'm going to run this back. I'm going to run this back. And we're going to listen to this right here. Now, let me add that to the stage. Shout out to Seti Nash, man. Shout out to Seti. Y'all go over there, subscribe. Type in Seti Nash and check him out if you want to see the full video without my interruptions and the whole nine. So let's go ahead and let's look at this right here. When I knew something wasn't right, I knew something wasn't right. But let's look deeper into it, because I know a lot of us get our emotions attached to certain things, and then we like to have these gender wars, and we always want to be about the men this, the women that. But I like to look at the facts and the cases. So what do we got right here? Let's rock out.
We also likely did not get fingerprint evidence on time. We did not get, and the fingerprint evidence actually showed that Mr. Peterson's fingerprints, were not found on that weapon. Currently, we are attempting at the Superior Court to have them run the serial number.
Ooh, my bad. I was on mute. Wait 1 second. So you're telling me he's incarcerated for shooting someone in the foot, and the gun that was used to have shot said victim in the foot, this man's prints ain't on it? Let me just make sure I heard that right.
Fingerprints, were not found on that weapon. Currently, we are attempting at the Superior Court to have them run the serial number to identify the owner of the weapon, which was not done. And we are also attempting to retrieve either a recording or, but what we can see is that likelihood ratios that are 0, 0.01 and below are considered to be excluded. Likelihood ratios from 10,000 to 999,099 are very strong, very strong support to the prosecution that this person did leave DNA on this item. And then above 1 million is very strong. We found in the DNA evidence that they labeled Mr. Peterson's LR to be inconclusive and uninformative. And uninformative, according to this scale, is this an LR of 1. Therefore, Mr. Peterson had an LR of 1 in a million that his DNA was on this firearm. And with that fact, it is actually marginal.
Brothers, I want you to know that, yes, all it takes is 1 in a millionth of a chance, and you can be in that same position, getting poked up by a child offender much later during this whole everything. Now, I want us to think about everything Tory is going through right now. Let's think about that. Everything he going through right now. And this is what's coming up all after the fact. Now, here it is, Meg out here doing CoverGirl commercials and all kind of stuff, and got all this other stuff going on, right? She with what's my man name? Clay. She got Clay. You know what I'm saying? And here it is, Tory back there just straight getting smoked.
More likely that another member of the African American population touched this gun over Mr. Peterson, which the jury.
Hold on, wait a minute. I gotta hear that part again. Hold on. What did she say? The African American community possibly touched. Did I wait?
Mr. Peterson's LR to be inconclusive and uninformative. And uninformative, according to this scale, is this an LR of 1. Therefore, Mr. Peterson had an LR of 1 in a million that his DNA was on this firearm. And with that fact, it is actually marginally more likely that another member of the African American population touched this gun.
Hold on. All right, so hold on, lady. Oh man. All right, so all right. So why can't it just be another person who was at the party? Last time I checked, they was at the party with Kylie Jenner or something like that. It was one of the Jenners, right? And he was outside. It was like one of those, we can't smoke in the house, let's go outside to the car type moments, right? Boom. All right, Meg drunk. She kicking the out the window. Let's not forget that, people. She was in the back seat, kicking the dog out the back seat of the window. Now, maybe it was because she was trying to get out the car and she was having one of her little drunk tantrums, right? Maybe, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, so now we fast forward and we're recognizing that it possibly could be somebody from the black community at a white party. Okay. All right. Now, when she says of the African community, African American community, is she talking about Meg's friend? Is she talking about somebody who was in the car with them without saying it? Because let's just go back. Now, all we have to do is this. It's simple. It's simple math. Process of elimination. Who else was black that was there? Boom. That's it. That's it. Simple math. She said that the whole community was not at the party. I wasn't there. I'm part of the black community. Your ass wasn't there. You part of the black community. So who is she talking about? Jinkies.
Over Mr. Peterson, which the jury did not hear.
Second, appellant didn't apologize to Harris, but yet he anticipated that Pete would never talk to him again. He was clearly accepting responsibility for something very big, something that applied to Pete, but not to Harris. And as appellant said, he couldn't remember what they'd argued about. He wasn't accepting blame for anything he said. Finally, appellant said that he expected to receive backlash once word got out. Now, backlash for causing a rift makes no sense, but backlash for shooting someone does. The evidence in this case was compelling. A few of the issues that have been highlighted here.
I ain't gonna hold you, bruh.
All right. Now, what we're going to do is, all right, I'm getting ready to play it. If y'all don't mind, because I want to make sure I can be nice and stable. Yes, please just give me a moment. I do have to use the restroom. I will be right back with us. All right. In a quick moment. We're just going to go ahead and play some tunes and I will be right back with you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead. Let's get back. Y'all already know what it is. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much for giving me a quick moment. One man band. All right, let's go ahead and rock out. Let's listen to what my man said he has to say about this because I find it very interesting, his personal take. Let's rock out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah. Bruh, after this, I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta say retrial too. Defense opens with the confrontation clause. Kelsey Harris took the stand under use of immunity, but avoided answering questions while jurors still heard her prior statements. His lawyer, Crystal Morgan, argued this robbed Tory of his Sixth Amendment right to confront his accuser. Without true cross-examination, her testimony wasn't reliable. Kelsey's September 2022 DA interview was testimonial under Crawford versus Washington. Defense says admitting it when Tory couldn't cross her was unconstitutional. She also mentions that her testimony was weighed by the jury.
Shout out. Y'all make sure y'all go over there, subscribe to Miss Queen Sunkiss as it is typed right there. Sunkiss, what we doing, sis, is we looking at this, and apparently a retrial needs to be had. Now, I'm not going to go back on it just this moment, but just look at the replay. If you want to like rewind, I just played with the defense of Tory Lanez, went on ahead and represented, I guess you can say, to the Supreme Court. So let's go ahead and get it, because they're making a mass appeal. So let's see, because they're calling for a retrial.
Because they requested the transcript during deliberations. Defense says prosecutors promised jurors they'd hear Justin Edison testify that Tory confessed. Edison never appeared. No limited instruction was given. Under California law, Hawk versus Superior Court, opening statements must be backed by good faith belief that evidence will come in. Here, it didn't. Just leaving jurors with a false impression that justice asks, what evidence does the defense have? That it wasn't in good faith. Crystal responded by stating there was a body attachment for Justin showing that he may not have been cooperative, and there is no evidence that Justin ever spoke to the DA. Prosecutor told jurors, don't be fooled by DNA evidence that excluded Tory. Defense says this misstated science and prejudiced the jury. The DNA results showed Tory was excluded from the magazine, and the gun results were uninformative, inconclusive, which says there are 1 in a million odds. Where we at? Oh, it was actually more likely another black man touched the gun. Jury never heard that. They only heard the D.
I just want, who's the other? Who cuz? Who's buddy? Whose buddy? Was it the driver? I don't know. Who they talking about? Maybe, I don't know. Does anybody know? Because all I know is that it was Tory in the car. I think Tory, Meg, her best friend that was in it and everything. I don't know shorty name. Who else was in the car? What other black man was in the car? Because remember, the defense said possibly, Your Honor, it could have been somebody else of the African American community. How widespread is that? That's why that's so wild to me. Somebody else of the African American community, that can be from here all the way to goddamn New Mexico.
They say, don't be fooled. Crystal argues the prosecution sprung an IG comment 4 days before trial, violating notice rules. Defense says it was hearsay, unauthenticated, and wrongly linked to Tory. The post in question is the comment left under the shade room. Tory's manager swore.
You say what? You said the driver? The driver, possibly, for real? Okay. Thank you, Sunkiss.
He, not Tory, wrote the IG comment. Crystal argues that if discovery had been turned over on time, the defense.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Bluetooth actually work?
Bro.
Presented that info at trial. Instead, the jury only saw it as Tory's words. Defense points to multiple Brady violations, late disclosure of fingerprint evidence, Kelsey's transcript, DNA data, and the Instagram post. Under Strickler versus Green, a Brady violation equals 3 parts. Evidence helps the defense. State suppressed it. Prejudice likely changed the trial outcome. Defense says all 3 apply here. She argues that had this evidence been timely, the jury could have heard a different story, one raising reasonable doubt instead of the DA's version alone. Defense says these Brady violations demand reversal. She also clarified that Sean Kelly was the witness. She argues that had this evidence been timely, the jury could have heard a different story, one raising reasonable doubt instead of the DA's version alone. Defense says these Brady violations demand reversal. She also clarified that Sean Kelly was the witness and that his 911 call could have been used to impeach or test his credibility. But since it was sealed, suppressed, the jury never got the benefit of that evidence. The state is up now. The people argued that Tory confessed in a jail call saying alcohol made him do it and pointed to a text message where he allegedly apologized again. He says the defense says neither the call nor text were true confessions of a shooting. The jail call showed Tory apologizing for the chaos and fallout of the night, not pulling a trigger. He, however, argues that it doesn't make sense. Prosecutor points out that Tory said he couldn't even remember what they were arguing about. The state says that aligns with someone drunk who later shot, not someone who was apologizing for chaos. He says, why didn't he apologize to Kelsey? Prosecutors maintain the IG post came directly from Tory's account, using it as evidence to suggest he was trying to deflect and blame on the Kelsey. Prosecutor calls the evidence against Tory overwhelming, insisting the jury got it right. The defense is back up for rebuttals. I forgot to tell you that the justice pressed the prosecution and asked if the IG posts were admitted in error. Would it be considered prejudicial? The question goes to the heart of the appeal law. If wrongly admitted, evidence likely swayed the jury. It isn't harmless error. It could be grounds for reversal. The state did not feel like he was prejudiced for that post. In rebuttal, defense stresses there was not enough evidence to convict, no clear physical evidence, and even today, it's unclear what exactly happened that night. She circled back to the IG post because the state says it wasn't prejudicial because he said Kelsey didn't shoot and never said that he didn't. She argues that it's still prejudicial because only 4 people were present. Megan and Jaquan were not considered suspects. So that comment directly implied it was Tory. Defense closed by hammering the...
I just have, this is wild. I just wanted to take a pause. This is crazy. Now, again, see, this is my main thing. I know I'm not the only one who sat back and said, oh, wait, what? They locked him up? For real? I know I'm not the only one. Like, this is wild right now, but let's keep going.
Brady violation, saying the suppression of evidence like Kelsey's recording and late disclosures were significant and prejudicial. Defense also pointed to the trial judge's handling of Kelsey's testimony, letting the jury hear her DA interview after she claimed memory loss. The judge said it was easier this way, even though it broke the rules on refreshing recollection. The shortcut gave jurors Kelsey's prior statements without Tory getting to fully confront her. Defense says this ruling undermined fairness and violated the confrontation clause. Oral arguments in People versus Daystar Peterson, aka Tory Lanez, are now concluded before the California Court of Appeal. The case is officially submitted. The justices have up to 90 days to issue their ruling. I'll share updates.
As in aka speedy trial.
As soon as the decision is released.
You know, we presented the evidence. The justices, really listened to us. They were really focused in. They took notes. I wasn't nervous. I know the case. I know the law. And it was just a matter of going and getting it done today.
All right. So let's just kind of go back on that. We're at 8:31. So I know the timestamp. Let's listen to what she presented to the court one more again for the win. And let's see how how substantial is this newfound evidence, which I honestly believe most of us knew was already there in the first place. Damn it.
We also likely did not get fingerprint evidence on time. We did not get, and the fingerprint evidence actually showed that Mr. Peterson's fingerprints, were not found on that weapon. Currently, we are attempting at the Superior Court to have them run the serial number to identify the owner of the weapon, which was not done. And we are also attempting to retrieve either a recording but what we can see is that
I need y'all to listen. Like, I don't know. Did y'all just let that go over your head? Or did you really hear everything that was not presented before this man was set behind bars? One last again for the Wizard. Listen to how much was totally thrown out and or ignored, not allowed to be presented. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C.
We also likely did not get fingerprint evidence on time. We did not get, and the fingerprint evidence actually showed that Mr. Peterson's fingerprints, were not found on that weapon. Currently, we are attempting at the Superior Court to have them run the serial number to identify.
Since okay, so fingerprints falls under the category of what, ladies and gentlemen? What category in the evidence of court? It falls under DNA. Since when do we not examine DNA in a court? Come on now.
The owner of the weapon, which was not done. And we are also attempting to retrieve either a recording or, but what we can see is that likelihood ratios that are 0, 0.01 and below are considered to be excluded. Likelihood ratios from 10,000 to 999,099 are very strong, very, very strong support to the prosecution that this person did leave DNA on this item. And then above 1 million is very, very strong. We found in the DNA evidence that they labeled Mr. Peterson's LR to be inconclusive and uninformative. And uninformative, according to this scale, is this a
You know, so for the record, inconclusive, let's say in this circumstance, would be equivalent to stalemate on a chessboard. So is stalemate a checkmate? Did somebody win? If it's a stalemate, who won? Who won? All right, put it like that. Inconclusive. So who won? So how do you convict somebody on something that's inconclusive? How do you claim a victory on a stalemate?
LR of 1. Therefore, Mr. Peterson had an LR of 1 in a million that his DNA was on this firearm. And with that fact, it is actually marginally more likely that another member of the African American population touched this gun.
I am so I don't know why that drives my nerves up the wall hearing her say it like that. Like, why do you like it's like, don't put that gun on all of us, okay? Keep that shit at the party. I wasn't at the party, I wasn't invited. Okay, what do you mean of the African American community?
Over Mr. Peterson, which the jury did not hear.
Second, appellant didn't apologize to Harris, but yet he anticipated that Pete would never talk to him again. He was clearly accepting responsibility for something very big, something that applied to Pete.
Now, let's go ahead and let's fast forward. Boom, let's get right back where we were, because I know where we were. Bow. We was like, right. Hold on, I got us. Bow. Let's get it.
Excuse me, really listened to us. They were really focused in. They took notes. I wasn't nervous. I know the case. I know the law. And it was just a matter of going and getting it done today.
I mean, so do you think the judges were being a little fair in there in the panel and there? They gave a fair shot?
Yes, they were very kind. I've been in that court before. I'm not going to lie, not every case goes as well as today. So I am very pleasantly, surprised. I was fully ready for it to go either way, where they would, like my arguments and listen and accept me. And I was fully prepared if they didn't.
I know. I mean, I wanted to know from you. I know you're a part of this team and everything like that. I mean, why do you believe the sentence should be reduced for the people at home that want to know specifics?
I feel that courts need to be fair. That's the main key. That's why I work for Day.
Lady, guess what? You know what we realized, as in we, the people of the unfortunate community of society and life, we recognize that, yeah, life ain't fair. Life ain't fair. I do believe a Negro came up with that first. Life ain't fair. But you know what we recognize also? The court and the judicial system is a part of life. So if we know life isn't fair, what makes us think that the aspects and parts of life are going to be fair with it? No, we just try to catch a break when we can. And we celebrate it every moment that we get one, every other full moon.
Star Peterson. It's not the fact that he's Tory Lanez. It's the fact that he's an innocent man. And I do feel that the district attorney hoodwinked like he accused us of doing. And so I don't like it when I find a case where I feel that the results have been manipulated to get a conviction, because convictions don't always equal justice.
Okay. I mean, I know there's talk about new evidence and everything like that. Can you tell us anything about that? Why does it matter to this case that new evidence has been brought in? Or
For me, it was more vindication for any of the naysayers, to believe that, this did happen the way that we're presenting that it happened. But legally, it didn't really put us in any better of a position. Witness testimony is okay, but it's not infallible. It's subject to a lot of discrepancies, memory issues from trauma, and of course that night was traumatic. So just looking at the fact that there wasn't this testimony really, and that we don't really know exactly what happened, I just feel like, the process was flawed.
okay, so I mean, what do you have to say to all the people that kind of question Tory?
I don't know why. Am I the only one that's getting like, this is so unorthodox? Now I didn't say unprofessional, unorthodox. Like, this is so like not like the way she's going about the whole interview, like the shrugging of the shoulders, like, I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I just kind of went in there and I just gave it my best shot. I just kind of winged it. And, I just kind of like, I told him what I was feeling to the best of my ability. And I mean, I don't know, it seemed to work. Like, am I the only one that's getting this like energy off of this?
Innocent, a little bit. I mean,
a long time ago, I gave an interview, and then I haven't spoken to anybody since then. And I promised
She looks like she wants to get back in the house to her wine, her jazz, and her cat. She's like, I just want to get home to Mimi.
everybody that sometimes in court, although what makes, America great, I feel, is our, judicial process. But sometimes, even though it's great, it's not perfect and we don't get things right. So for me, the fact that this process was flawed and now we're correct.
That's not even like a life logical statement. Yes, life logical, as in we already know life isn't perfect. People aren't perfect. There's something called human error. So shit happens, but unfortunately, sometimes shit happens and it costs the person their life, whether it's behind bars or in a pine box.
And yet, I want people to know that sometimes the story that comes out in court isn't always the real story. And that's why there's courts of appeals. That's why cases are overturned.
That's because all courts are now TV shows in real life, and it's basically on the internet. And anything that is on social media long enough will be tainted at some point because it's for the theatrics. Let's just cut to the shit. I mean, cut through the shit and get to the, you know what I'm saying? Meat. Let's get
and
it.
I promised everyone that when I was able to speak, I would tell them a story, and I feel I delivered on that.
Of course. Okay, so what's next in the case? What are the next steps?
We wait for this decision. Of course, we pray for favor. We could be looking at reversal. Of course, we want reversal. That's the big win. And the alternative, we're asking for a new trial. Then we would go down to the Superior Court. The backdrop is.
Do you know how much money he'll get if come to find out he was in there and he wasn't supposed to be? You get paid for each day you in there, right? Each day you get paid.
Of course, is we have other avenues that we're already pursuing as just in case. We have safety nets in place, and we will be continuing to fight, for Mr. Peterson's exoneration. If today, isn't fruitful for us, we will go to the Supreme Court.
And that is only if he's exonerated. Like, he has to get the actual exoneration, right? He has to be acquitted, right? Like, period, like all the way. It can't just be like it came to an agreement and maybe he played out. He can't plead out to anything, not one thing. It has to be 100% exoneration.
We'll continue our investigations at the Superior Court that I've started already.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Oh
my God, that was great.
Now, y'all not gonna get me to get on the bandwagon to say Tory Lanez is innocent. I'm not getting on any bandwagon like that. If I see evidence, for sure I'll change my mind. Definitely. New evidence produced, new thoughts occur, new guy. But bare minimum, Tory Lanez for surely should get another trial. He should get a retrial, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. He needs another trial. Just gonna be fair. Because what we just read, if that's true, bro, what the hell? So you mean to tell me that y'all pulling comments and you couldn't verify which account it came from? Now them ignoring it, bro, I ain't gonna hold you. That would piss me off. If it wasn't Tory Lanez, and let's just say this was somebody random and versus somebody else random, I don't think I would have that same freaking feeling. I ain't gonna hold you.
Well, first of all, Seti, most of us already know. If you know, you know. Y'all see everything going on with this retrial, how much they're doing to dig and pull up this evidence. I promise you, that's money. It's my point. Listen, everything that's taking place, bro, that costs. It costs. That's why they say it's better to get a hired, a paid attorney as opposed to a PD as in public defender. Reason being is because it's just like anything else. What do you think the quality from shoes from Payless is going to be as opposed to maybe the quality of some shoes from Foot Locker or whatever, right? Like we all know that, the more money you pay in anything in life, from clubs, restaurants, right, clothing, anything, right, flights, first class versus coach, you're going to get a better quality, a better deal, more than likely, or at least you should. So everything you just saw with all of this retrial, that shit costs, my G. And a lot of us fall victim to this because we wound up doing stuff like you'll see all this money fans, you'll see all of the posts with they got all of the jewelry and everything, but then we see most of these rappers wound up behind bars for some M charge or something horrendous, and then they turn around and they got a public defender. We've seen it time and time again. If you know, you know. So we just need to make sure that we recognize how much even down to financial literacy comes into being a criminal, if that's what you choose to do. Now, over to Tory. Honestly, yeah. He's able to, through whatever backing, entertainment business, fellow celebrity friends and all of that. Trust me, he got some folks that definitely got his back. That's like, pushing the wave for him as well. Right. So we need to recognize all of these factors that come into play. I just wanted to make sure I threw that in. Let's go ahead and get back to it.
I just wouldn't. I told people the reason why I believe Tory Lanez is guilty is because you try to rush the stage while you had a restraining order against Megan Thee Stallion in Miami. Yes, he was taken back to jail and they raised his bond. That's not to be disputed. That's what happened. Them are the facts. Secondly, you literally beat the hell out of August Alsina with you and your goons when you know you were not supposed to commit any more crimes. They got on camera and basically lied about it and said you didn't do anything. Actually, he just kept it gangster. August Alsina did.
I didn't know about that. Can't defend it. Your Honor, I plead the fifth.
And that's what that was. But also, at the same damn time, you paying people to spread disinformation and all this crap, bro, it is what it is. I remember academics like 2 weeks ago saying, depose me, come after me, sue me. And next thing you know, his ass is getting deposed, him and Aiden Ross. So there's that part. So as far as Megan Thee Stallion is going, I believe she was shot. But one thing that kind of threw me off was this. How is it that the lawyers came out and said that Tory Lanez, the only reason his hand was on the gun was because he knocked the gun down while Kelsey was shooting at Megan Thee Stallion? Tory Lanez fans have yet to freaking point that out and say, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. When his own lawyers that's trying to get him out literally said, hey, bro, he smacked the gun down. They didn't bring that up during the arguments, the oral arguments today. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. They didn't have to. You're like, damn, Nash, you really are unbiased. They didn't have to. Okay. Now that could have been a preemptive strike to say, you know, hey, we're gonna have to explain some of that DNA, and that's gonna be that. What we thought about fingerprints stain on things actually is not true. I'm gonna pull this up real quick because I believe it is massively important. Because and I don't know if anybody will agree with me on this one. I don't know. But what I used to believe, what it's saying is basically it can last for minutes or it can last decades. So we're not really finna use that one. But if it was cold as hell outside, he'd be in the clear. If it was warm outside, it would be a problem. And it is what it is. Y'all can say, yeah, of course it's hotter, sweat, oils, and all this crap, smearing, blah, 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 and all this stuff and everything. But then if that's the case, what's the difference between plastic and metal? But
no. So I'm gonna cut through the fact and get to the meat. Look, right? This is what it is. The fact is that just like the lawyer presented right there in the opening statement, there was so much that was not presented. There was so much that was rejected, denied, or not looked at. Period. I like all the extra, fine lines of it. I'm not really concerned about that too much. Just me personally, right? So my thought process is more so along the lines of, okay, so what exactly was not presented that should have been presented in the first trial that would give legitimacy to having a second trial? That's just where I am. That's where my headspace is. So let's go ahead and get back to it. And then I got one more clip for us for the evening. And this last one is pretty effed up. It's pretty effed up on both sides of it. But we're going to go ahead and rock out. I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 2:03 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you so much for tuning in. Let's rock out.
I'm not here to kind of debate those physics. That's what the prosecution should be doing. And it doesn't seem like Tory had a fair shake at this. I know some of y'all like, yeah, that's what we were just trying to get you to say. If that's what you were trying to get me to say, you got me. There you go. One thing about it is he deserves a retrial. You can't hold back certain things and say certain people are going to make an appearance and then they don't.
And I already know what said he going with it, right? If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, right? Not right about everything. I believe he's more so in the space of like, look, yeah, he does deserve a retrial, but does that mean that he is innocent? Let's keep going. All right, I got you, Sid. Okay, now I like it.
Because remember in Diddy's trial where whatever the hell her name is, she was supposed to come through and she did it. She was like witness number 3 and all of this crap. And it seemed as though she got paid off. Or it seemed as though she really liked Diddy and she didn't want her baby daddy to basically be thrown into the fire and all this crap. And who was going to take care of that child? Who's going to take care of this child? But all in all, this ain't right. The evidence should be clear. Everything should be clear that Tory Lanez should be found guilty on the merits of the evidence. And it seems as though the evidence wasn't clear. So to those who are yelling he's innocent, y'all have a point. Do I believe he's innocent? Hell to the F no. But do I believe there should be another trial? Hell yeah. I think we all can agree on that after this.
I knew he was going there.
video. But if you don't,
same old.
All right. Okay, now. So now we. Nah, I like the way you put that though. Nah, I see where you're at. So this is something that I actually was saying, like in the beginning of it, you know, as far as I actually see that something ain't right here. Like he not supposed to just be back there like that. And I'm only saying that in the sense of I don't know why they didn't present all of the extra evidence, because as somebody who knows about court cases a little bit better, why? Because I've been in them. That's why, like, actually been the person in his shoes, not for that type of shit, but you know, I know what it's like to go through a trial and all of the process, the due process that is involved. And I'm like, yo, it's a lot that they didn't. Hold on, wait a minute. They skipped this part, but you know, I'm just little old me over here. You know what I'm saying? Where I am. But let's go ahead and let's get to this. What we're gonna do is let me pull this up. We're gonna get to the last video. So this last one right here is something extremely devastating on both ends. As a parent, as somebody who knows street code, life code. Again, we talking about that dash in the middle, and we talking about situational awareness. Don't forget that. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and pull up this last one, man. Shout out to the Family TV, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a native right there. That's a native. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Family TV. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a look at this last one. I'm just going to get my little dibbles and dabbles and my pieces on it. Make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the good brother, man. He be doing like school giveaways and all type of good stuff, man. So make sure that you show some love. Let's go ahead and get to it. And with that being said, I digress. My mic is muted. The time right now is 2:08 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. And I thank you all so much for tuning in. So, who is that guy? All right, that guy is a drill rapper that goes by the name of Chicken. And unfortunately, Chicken got his feathers plucked. Unfortunately. All right, and condolences to his family and loved ones. But we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna break this down, you know, just from my own personal perspective. And we're going to see what we got. So apparently the reason why people believe that he got backdoored by his buddy is because he went on ahead, Mr. Chicken Dundada. He knocked out a chick. Now, the chick that he knocked out was a teenager. Ain't that something? So he's a grown man. He knocked out a 17-year-old. Now, she's a drill rapper, but she is somebody known to be vicious as well. So this whole story is like, who's really right, who's really wrong in the eyes of the public? Not Smitty. Let's rock out.
Fuck a BB, I want a big ass gun with a beam. Like what? Make sure it's green, the dead.
Now, that's a 17-year-old, and that's the chick that he got into an altercation with. Let's go.
Jack, you della him beat. Like what? Bitch, I'm B. Ain't no axe, I'm smoking on key. My sister up and threw on the bed.
You never met, put your name in tracks. Because I done heard your name in a couple tracks before.
Obviously, was ducking his shit. If I catch baby threat, I'm punching out bitch.
Hey, nah, why this nigga talking like that?
If I catch baby threat, I'm punching out bitch.
So breaking this morning, we continue to follow a deadly overnight shooting in Soundview where police say a man was killed in front of a smoke shop.
Welcome to 2025. Fam, we in a time where the lines are blurred, man. Some of the females out here acting like the men, and some of the men out here acting like females. In this drill rap culture, it ain't no different. It ain't just the guys that's in the dead no more. Women are jumping into that lane too. And some say if you play the same game, they gotta accept the same consequences. But on the other,
now, that's the part that I wonder from you all right? Do you believe that if a chick, all right, if a lady hops out into the man's lane of gang, right? Gang. Blood, Crip, GD, BD, Vice Lord, you know what I'm saying? P-Stone, right? Zopound, whatever it is, right? Whatever it is you claim. Should they get the exact same treatment as the dudes, or considering it's gang and considering it's will slide on you, your mama, your grandma, and everybody else? Should the ladies of gangs actually get a pass? Should they get a pass? If a dude who is a blood comes across a chick who is a Crip, should he not, you know what I'm saying, do what he got to do because it's a woman in the gang? Or should he hold the same energy, keep the same energy that he would for the man that's in that gang? I want to know. I'm dead ass on that.
I mean, at the same time, there's still that old code. No matter what, you don't put your hands on no female. But what happens when all that get flips upside down? Because today, we got the total opposite.
Let me go ahead and see what's going on real quick. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Shout out. What's going on, Mo? All right, shout out, Drip. I appreciate you. All right now. Okay, now, Miss Polly in the building. Shout out to the family. I appreciate y'all, man. You said hell nah? No, I don't know about that. I mean, Drip. Listen, all right, so watch this. Hey, Drip. War. Would you say that, you know, when it come to like really in them streets, right? You from Texas. When it come to them streets, would you say that like it's not equivalent to actual like being in war? So my point is, and which I'm asking right now is, do you believe that women soldiers should be shown more mercy overseas when they go on the front line with the men? Or do you believe that our enemies are going to treat them just like they do the men if they become POWs? It's just a question, my G. Just a question. You smell me now? Nah, we good. All right, then. That's what I'm talking about, my nigga. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get back to this. Let's see how this all turned out with our man Chicken Dundada.
Oh, maybe 100 pounds soaking wet was punished for what she allegedly did. She already had rumors floating around her name, but also facts based on her own words. But on top of that, we got a male rapper who suffered severe consequences because of what he did to her. And trust me, if you thought that was crazy, wait till I break down the details. Just last week, a video surfaced of a New York rapper being gunned down in front of a smoke shop. I had the video last week. I didn't really think nothing of it. It was point blank. He was shot once in the head. As the clip spread, whispers started. People started saying his own friend dropped the location based on what they observed in the video, which we'll later break down. But why? Well, just a day before, this same man allegedly knocked out a female rapper out cold. And this wasn't just any female. This somebody who been rapping or doing drill rap for less than a year now.
Now, my main focus and my main take is this. Her in this circumstance, should she really get a pass in life? That's what I want to know. If she's putting herself out there in this way, now we're going to get to her interview. We're going to listen to how she talk, how she rock, how she going. Now, mind you, she's a minor. She's a young lady. She's somebody's daughter, and she is only 17 years old. Should she get that adult? Should she get that adult man treatment? That's my question. And it's only a question. Don't you think you know which direction I sway in?
Her career already had outshined his 5 times over. A woman who admitted in her own raps that she set up dudes and she smoked the dead. So today we breaking it all down. Who is this male rapper? Who is this female rapper? Was she really from where she claimed? How old is she? What was her first track? And most importantly, how did this lead to a man losing his life on camera in the most brutal way? But before we break down this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no aim. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fat Meat Baby Threat. She from the Bronx in New York. She just 17 years old and she rap MBF, which is the Mac Baller family, recognized street gang and a set of Bloods gang, operating at around New York, particularly in Queens, specifically the South Jamaican houses and American Towers, and the Bronx. According to indictments, MBF members have engaged in numerous acts of violence, including shootings, armed robberies, attempt murders, and other acts to protect their power, territory, and profits. In the interview she did just 3 months ago with the platform titled Behind the Scenes WDV, she talked about wanting to become MB since a child and allegedly became one at the age of 13. Shout out to this platform. We're going to reference this interview at least 2 to 3 times.
What made me turn on? My block, I always been around Max since I was young. I always wanted to be Max, like, even it was a point in time.
Now, mind you, I want y'all to peep some. I don't know if I'm the only one that caught that. I told y'all she only 17 years old. She said, I've been around, I think she said Max since I was young. Okay, I'm going to say it again. You only 17 years old. I've been around Max since I was young. So when all this start? And where was mom and dad?
For years, niggas was telling me, like, you not Mac. And I was telling niggas, like, niggas is not telling me nothing. I'm not Mac.
I swear on life, dads, whoever you are out here, dads, we gotta stay on that front line. We gotta stay on point. Because if we don't, our daughters and our sons wound up like this. Now, I'm talking to fathers on this one. Let's get it.
When I turned like 13, 14, I was real right and nobody could tell me nothing. Somebody said, what was
9 months ago, Baby Threat released her first video called F a BBL, where she quote, F a BBL, I want a Glock with a big beam. It got over 160.
You 17 years old talking about plastic surgery. Again, dads. Hey, dads. I'm talking to us. We got to stay on them front lines, man. F a BBL. I need a Glock.
1,000 views, I ain't counting. She can be heard dissing the dead and say she's smoking on dead ops.
Oh, man.
From a dude who was affiliated with MB. And at that point, there was speculation that she had ops from people she once knew in 1300 in her own hood. She was known to have men diss her, fam. Men, before the situation took place, went on raps, who wasn't the victim in this case, say when they see Baby.
Hey, y'all, I apologize. I didn't realize I didn't have it pulled back up on the stage, so I apologize for that slight delay. Forgive me.
Baby Threat, they gonna knock her out.
I just see something come from the side of my arm. They try to right? No, I don't.
People that you never met put your name in tracks. Because I done heard your name in a couple tracks before.
That should be wrong.
Now I'm trying to figure out. All right, so again, mind you, she's 17. All right, so who are her people's? Whose care is she under? I'm honestly asking that question. Whose care is she under? Like, who? You're not gonna tell me you not aware that this is what's going on, and she just come home and sneak through the window quietly and shit after doing a drill video. You're not gonna tell me that. Whose care is this 17-year-old under? When she said, I've been hanging with Max since I was young. What, 13? Whose care has she been under? Shit. Yo, we doomed. We are doomed.
But it's like, bro, this is what this rapper shit come with, bro. So it's not like I might get mad. Like, if you violently hit me on the track, I'm gonna get mad, bro. I'm like,
was ducking these shit. If I catch Baby Threat, then I'm punching that bitch.
Hey, nah, why this nigga talking like that?
Shit, if I catch Baby Threat, then I'm punching that bitch.
But if you violate me and you on point and you dissing me, I'm gonna wanna link you. I'm gonna dead text you like, link me right now. And if you try to use that girl card, I'm gonna tell you can link one of the bros.
What's your response to people that say that females that drill rap are like burnt out and they should stay in a lady's place?
I don't know. I believe everybody got their own opinion, to be honest. Like, I'm still gonna do me at the end of the day. I know what I'm rapping about is not no fake shit. I'm not faking my raps, like, so I don't really care. Niggas gonna say what they want regardless. I'm still gonna go up and you still gonna listen to my so I don't care. I feel like that shit is washed though, because it's a lot of these bitches that's on that more than these niggas. These niggas that be rapping be damn gang, like, that eyes. Around with the he was cool with the 1300 niggas at a point in time, and they had made some song. They dissed one of the girls that was in our group chat. We like, you better make a song and diss these niggas that shit down right up on Facebook. We was Facebook famous for like a month straight off that song, and then like I just stopped rapping. And then I had dropped a song and went up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just take it serious.
No presence in the studio. Like, what you need to like really lock in and shit.
I be thinking about the ops. Like, when I be coming in our block and terrorizing them. That's
She we 17 years old, and she's thinking about the ops. When she comes in the studio, she's not thinking about being. Look, I ain't even gonna say be all like ladylike and feminine and prissy. I ain't even saying none of that. I'm just saying, like, you don't think about creativity, thinking about the ops, like this, and she's a beautiful young lady, like possibly does have, Lord knows what true potential she will never, ever, ever, ever be able to see within herself or ever manifest into the physical. Why? Because she is stuck in the lowest vibrational state of herself. She is in that one-dimensional zone while in three-dimensional reality. Crazy.
going through my head. I have to make myself angry. Sometimes I be in there playing around. I be like, hold on.
She said, I have to make myself angry. You know what that means, love? You know what that means, beloved? It means you're not supposed to be. You got to make yourself angry. That means that's not what you're supposed to be. That means that you forcing yourself to be something you was not created to be. Let me shut up.
Now, once again, shout out to Behind the Scenes WDV. I'll leave the link in the bio for you guys to check out their almost 30-minute interview with Baby Threat. But as you can see, the image she was putting on was a gangster. 3 months after that interview was dropped, a New York City local rapper who was identified as Chicken Don Dada, just 33 years old, would catch Baby Threat and knock her out. Now, I'm going to stop the video before she get knocked out for YouTube guidelines. Check it out.
More dealing, I'm dealing with inner feelings. From the kitchen, I'm scraping and water whipping. You think that I'm tripping my...
Now, that incident happened on a Wednesday, but the following day, Thursday, August 7, 2025, on Westchester Avenue near Morris Ave, Chicken was shot in the head outside Exotic World, a local smoke shop, a place who wouldn't confirm whether he was a local employee or not. But suddenly, he was captured on camera. His friend was standing next to him. I'm assuming someone he knew at least. He sniffed his nose, and then a man in all black with a mask on shoot Chicken point blank range in the head, leaving him DOA. May he rest in peace, and love and condolences to his family.
Situational awareness. You know, one thing we need to recognize is this. You know, I find it so fascinating how, like, folks really think like you can live a certain type of lifestyle. think you can just be outside chilling. Look, let me tell you something. Okay. I remember just having warrants for like a petty charge or something here and there at times of my life. And I didn't want to be caught outside, okay? Let alone having something as drastic as, you know what I'm saying? Like, what you think you just put your hands on somebody, people, and something not gonna happen to you now. The thing is this. Do you see what it is that happened to him being justified? And like, let's say you were the dad of that, and that's your daughter is out there and crazy and wild as you know your little baby girl to be. That's still your daughter, right? Or that's still your niece or your whoever close to you. And you see that happen to the person who knocked her out the day before, 24 hours later. I think it happened to a Philly rapper as well. And I did a story about it, like a here you go. Rest in peace to him as well. Right? The day after dissing, the day after doing whatever, it's like, I don't know. How do you see that? Is it justified? Let's keep on rocking out. Let's get back to the video. Respect.
So breaking this morning, we continue to follow a deadly overnight shooting in Soundview where police say a man was killed in front of a smoke shop. News 12's Natalie Hernandez has been on the scene all morning for us. Natalie, what are you learning at this hour?
Between the school chaos.
All right.
Nadia, a community is mourning today after a 33-year-old man was shot in the head and killed last night on Westchester Avenue. If you take a look here, you can see there is a growing makeshift memorial here outside of the smoke shop where it happened. We saw people today lighting candles here, heartbroken. We're told shots were fired around 10:30 last night, right outside 1629 Westchester.
Hey, Riaz, it's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in, brother. All right, mashallah. Thank you for stopping by.
Avenue, just steps away from the Morrison Avenue train station. When police got here, they found the victim with a gunshot wound to the head. People in the neighborhood say the victim was working at the smoke shop where it happened. EMS rushed him to Jacoby Hospital where he died. We saw blood on the ground and a single shell casing marker in the doorway, and the area was taped off as detectives flood scene. We're told that police are looking for a man last seen wearing a dark colored hoodie, dark sweatpants, black and red sneakers, and a black face mask. They tell us that they believe the shooting may have been targeted, and right now it's unclear what happened leading up to the shooting, and the name of that victim has not yet been released. But everyone in this neighborhood that I've spoken to off camera tells me that he was a great person. From Soundview, Natalie Hernandez.
I don't know too many drill rappers that were great people, but okay.
Everyone's a roadside lawyer, right? That's when you step out the car like I fucking told you to. They wanted to play constitutional rights games with me.
Police officers get
Male drill rapper, small, maybe 100 pounds soaking wet, was punished for what she allegedly did. She already had rumors floating around her name, but also facts based on her own words. But on top of that, we got a male rapper who suffered severe consequences because of what he did to her. And trust me, if you thought that was crazy, wait till I break down the details. Just last week, a video surfaced of a New York rapper being gunned down in front of a smoke shop. I had the video last week. I didn't really think nothing of it. It was point blank. He was shot once in the head. As the clip spread, whispers started. People started saying his own friend dropped the location based on what they observed in the video, which we'll later break down. But why? Well, just a day before, this same man allegedly knocked out a female rapper out cold. And this wasn't just any female. This somebody who been rapping or doing drill rap for less than a year now. And her career already had outshined his 5 times over. A woman who admitted in her own raps that she set up dudes. And she smoked the dead. So today we breaking it all down. Who is this male rapper? Who is this?
Like, you not mocked. And I was telling niggas, like, niggas is not telling me nothing. I'm not mocked. And then I turned like 13, 14.
So breaking this morning, we continue to follow a deadly overnight shooting in Soundview where police
Avenue train station. When police got here, they found the victim with a gunshot wound to the head. People in the neighborhood say the victim was working at the smoke shop where it happened. EMS rushed him to Jacoby Hospital where he died. We saw blood on the ground and a single shell casing marker in the doorway, and the area was taped off as detectives flooded the scene. We're told that police are looking for a man last seen wearing a dark colored hoodie, dark sweatpants, black and red sneakers, and a black face mask. They tell us that they believe the shooting may have been targeted, and right now it's unclear what happened leading up to the shooting, and the name of that victim has not yet been released. But everyone in this neighborhood that I've spoken to off camera tells me that he was a great person. From Soundview, Natalie Hernandez, News 12, the Bronx.
Yeah, the impact of this felt near and far. Now,
Police later confirmed that no arrest has been made and a motive for the shooting was not immediately disclosed. And police sources say that Chicken had an extensive criminal history with 27 arrests, including 1 arrest for possession of an illegal firearm. As far as Baby Threat, she has yet to say anything about it publicly.
Now, the main reason why generally they mention all of that is to make sure that you're discredited as much as possible as being looked at as human. Just always remember that, right? They are going to throw a lot of that in. Well, they did this, they did that. It is to get people to make sure that it's in the other people's mind of that person deserved whatever happened to them to the fullest. Now, you put your hands on somebody, people's. I don't know what to tell somebody on how to respond to that, because I know of circumstances like this in real life myself. When it comes to some folks just ain't playing.
Social media. Now, as we wrap this video up, we do want to say rest in peace to the victim once again. A level of condolences to his family and prayers up for anyone who was affected by the story we just talked about. But when we look at this whole situation, they say a lot about what drill rap is in 2025. The culture shifted. Now it ain't just the men talking reckless, just in the dead and moving grimy. The women stepped into the same lane. And some people believe if they act like the men, they should face the same results as the men. But then again, you got another side, as we mentioned, who say the code is no matter what, you don't put your hands on no female. And in this case, the line got crossed. And at the end of the day, the results was deadly. A man who been grinding for years watched a female rapper who's considered to be a teenager pass him up within months. Instead of embracing it or finding his lane, jealousy kicked in and he laid hands on her, allegedly. And the streets answered back immediately. That one move sealed his fate. And it shows you how quick things can flip when you move all pride, revenge, and ego. At the end of the day, whether you feel like she brought it on herself or whether you feel like he crossed the line, 2 lives was brought up. 1 man gone forever and 1 woman marked with even more controversy on her name. That's the reality of the drill culture in 2025. The roles are reversed and the codes are blurred. And it seemed like the consequences are the same. Fam, this was the story of a New York aspiring rapper who was shot once in the head in front of a local smoke shop, only a day after he allegedly knocked out a female rapper who was just a teenager. Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments.
Respect to the family. Just make sure y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are. Tell me what you think about it. If you're just getting here and you didn't catch it, well, go ahead and catch the replay. And with that being said,
I digress. My mic is muted.
I'm gonna get mine. Get yours, nigga, cause I'ma get mine. Today gonna be a good day. Jack gon' keep it playing from the Genesis. As I'm blowing dope, being broke my only nemesis. Remember when it wasn't all good, I used to reminisce. Felt like I was going through hell with no deliverance. Niggas throwing salt in the game, condoning ignorance. But when it's really in you, not on you, we know the difference. Nigga ain't no willing and dealing, we really killing shit. My brother passed a shooter like Luka, he gave me sentences. Nigga, I was Dennis before you knew what a menace is. Now I just spread love to these bitches, oh, I'm a feminist. Way they running back to the dick, they think they Emmitt Smith. No real player gon' break it, that shit be imminent. Yeah. Nigga, we was trapping out the tenement. Niggas ain't hard, they just loud, them niggas impotent. Ain't in it for the glory, my life story is intricate. Don't crash out for the money and watch the niggas you get it with. I say it all, cause I'm past the point that I'ma play with y'all. And as the president, I'ma have to revoke your player card. Don't think the nigga ever was real, and he gon' stay a fraud. Don't think a nigga bluffing is not nothing to break them all. Saquon ho is not nothing to shake them all. The window street clothes in my bed, oh better take them all. Just get that cheese, breaking that bread, and I can stay involved. You wanna look sweet in my side seat, got to pay the cost.
Dope and cheese, I'm smoking G's. While I was scaling dope and weed, y'all been yelling broken knees. You gon' do it, baby, do it, gotta hold and squeeze. For real, it's cold out here, one of you hoes gon' freeze. Rob the reverend, call the blessing, hold your nose, don't sneeze. Poop, nigga. Oops, nigga. Pull up in that big shit like I'm too big for that coupe, nigga. Too legit to quit, no, I'm just too legit for you, nigga. Twin Towers feel the power when we speaking, nigga. Coke like I was in the ghost with Tommy Egan, nigga. If your bitch looks suspicious, she probably creeping, nigga. If you heard the shit before, it's probably beating. And don't ask me about no money, I'ma tell you, let me hold something. 60K and Debbie walking around like I don't owe nothing. So-and-so got shot up, I just act like I don't know nothing. I call love, but we make a hit and miss a home run. Clean up in the kitchen, we can't have no dirty dishes, cause it's roaches outside and we cooking if they don't sniff it. Took a shot in the dark, I just went for this shit. Why aim for the stars, go for it and get nothing. Somewhere there's a young nigga on the same thing. Suggested advice, I tell him do better. Baby mom pregnant, I was turning 18. Ain't even focused my mind to getting cheddar. So I quit this rap shit, quit chasing my dreams. Fuck it, get money off of hoes and the fiends. Fuck it, get money, then turn around, blow it. If I was my plug, man, I wouldn't even throw it. Maybe I would get money, you know it. Really had the city for some summers with the lows, yeah. Going down the wrong way, niggas getting smoked, yeah. I ain't even tell you about the times I was broke, yeah.